I can still feel the chill creeping down my spine, even as I sit here, trying to piece together what happened that fateful night. It's like a nightmare that refuses to fade, haunting every corner of my mind. But maybe if I write it down, if I put the words on paper, it'll help me make sense of it all. So here it goes. It was a typical evening, or so I thought. The wind whispered through the trees outside, casting eerie shadows across the walls of my old, creaky house. I brushed it off as my imagination running wild, just like always, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. As I settled into bed, pulling the covers tight around me, a sense of unease washed over me. It felt like I was being watched, like unseen eyes were boring into my soul. I tried to shake it off, telling myself it was just nerves playing tricks on me. But then I heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping coming from somewhere in the darkness. At first, I tried to ignore it, convincing myself it was just a branch scraping against the window. But the tapping grew louder, more insistent, until it was pounding inside my head. I hesitated, my heart racing as I debated whether to investigate. Part of me wanted to bury myself under the covers and pretend it wasn't happening. But another part, the part fueled by curiosity and fear, urged me to find out what was causing the noise. With trembling hands, I reached for the flashlight on my nightstand. Summoning all the courage I could muster, slowly, cautiously, I made my way through the house, each step echoing in the silence like a drumbeat of impending doom. The tapping led me to the basement door, its rusty hinges groaning in protest as I pushed it open. The air was thick with must and decay, sending a shiver down my spine. I descended the creaky stairs, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the darkness like a knife. And then I saw it, or rather her, a figure huddled in the corner, her back turned to me, her long, tangled hair obscuring her face. She was tapping something against the concrete floor, a slow, methodical rhythm that sent chills down my spine. "Hello," I called out, my voice barely above a whisper, but she didn't respond, didn't even acknowledge my presence. I took a hesitant step forward, my pulse pounding in my ears. And then she turned, her eyes locking onto mine with the look of pure malice. They were empty, soulless, like staring into the abyss itself. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in my chest as I realized the truth. She wasn't human. She couldn't be. Not with those eyes, those unnaturally long limbs, those twisted features that seemed to defy all logic and reason. I wanted to run, to scream, to escape this nightmare that had become my reality. But before I could even move, she was upon me, her cold, clammy hands wrapping around my throat, squeezing the life out of me. And as darkness consumed me, as my vision faded to black, I realized the true horror of my situation. I wasn't alone in that house. And I never would be again.